So, when you sit down in the evening and your heart feels just a little too heavy, or you lie in bed and your breathing feels slower than it should, have you ever wondered if it's simply aging or something you're doing every single night without knowing? Most elders assume that the damage to their body happens during illness, during stress, during big life events, but it's not always the major moments that wear you down. Sometimes it's the quiet ones. The little routines repeated every evening. Those are the ones that often do the most harm. By the time you're over 60, your organs don't just need more care, they need less confusion. They need rhythm, they need your cooperation, especially in the hours before sleep. The heart, the liver, and the brain, three of the most critical organs for your survival. Three organs that actually begin their healing process after sunset, and three organs that many unknowingly strain every evening, just by doing what feels normal. This doesn't happen in hospitals, it doesn't happen through accidents, it happens at your dining table, on your couch, under your bedroom light, and over months or years that wear turns into something measurable. Fatigue, brain fog, heart palpitations, poor sleep, digestion issues, memory loss, blood pressure spikes, all quietly building up from four common habits. The first habit is so ordinary that most people would never imagine it affects the heart, but it does. When the sun goes down, your body naturally prepares to rest. Melatonin begins to rise. The brain tells the nervous system to shift gears from daytime alert to nighttime recovery. But when bright light hits your eyes after sunset, especially white ceiling light or blue phone light, the entire system gets confused. That confusion causes your blood vessels to constrict slightly. Your pulse doesn't lower like it should. Your heart rate remains in a state of readiness instead of softening into sleep mode. This extra tension through the night prevents full cardiac rest. It may not seem like much, but over years it adds up to extra wear on your arteries. Elders with sensitive cardiovascular systems may feel it as slight chest pressure, restlessness, or poor sleep quality. The fix? It's simple, but very specific. Turn off all harsh white ceiling lights after 7 p.m. Use only warm tone lamps 200 and 700K or less. These mimic sunset light and tell the brain it's time to slow down. Install blue light filters on phones and screens, or better yet, turn off screens entirely at least 30-45 minutes before lying down. Switch to soft music, paper books, or stillness. This alone can lower your nighttime heart stress by 10-15% over time. Now think of what's happening in your liver. This organ has been working for you since birth. It filters your blood, processes fats, neutralizes medications, helps regulate sugar and pressure, but by night, the liver expects quiet, not food, not sugar, not alcohol. Yet most elders eat their largest meal between 7 to 9 p.m. They may follow it with a cup of tea, a biscuit, sometimes even fruit or dessert. Then they lie down expecting smooth sleep, but the liver isn't sleeping, it's being forced to digest. When food enters late, especially heavy food, the liver loses its chance to switch from digestion to detoxification. This leads to inflammation. It may not cause pain at first, but the signs begin as bloating in the morning, darker urine or dry mouth, brain fog or confusion upon waking, raised liver enzyme levels in blood tests, difficulty sleeping, despite fatigue. This becomes even more dangerous if you're on multiple medications. Liver clearance slows with age. Adding evening meals to that burden makes it harder for the organ to reset overnight. The better path: eat dinner no later than 3 hours before bed. Let your meal be light, steamed vegetables, a small portion of protein like fish or lentils, maybe some oats or lightly toasted grain. Avoid animal fat, cheese, fried items, and caffeine. Drink only room temperature or warm water. And if you're truly hungry before sleep, a teaspoon of soaked chia seeds or a warm turmeric drink can satisfy without triggering the liver. The third damage happens not in the kitchen, but on the couch. You turn on the TV, let the sound run softly in the background. Maybe you even fall asleep to it. At first, this feels relaxing, but to your brain it's not. Even if your eyes are closed, your brain's auditory system is listening. It's decoding every voice, every sound cue, every brightness change on the screen. This disrupts the hippocampus, the region responsible for forming long-term memory. It also disturbs slow-wave sleep, which is necessary for neurological repair. For elders already at risk of cognitive decline, this becomes a hidden accelerator. You won't notice it in one night, but after months, forgetfulness grows, decision-making slows, emotions become harder to manage, and energy in the daytime drops, no matter how long you slept. Instead, use the last 30 minutes before bed for wind down. No screens, dim lights, soft reading, or spiritual reflection, breathing exercises, or simply sitting in silence. Let the brain know you are safe now. The world is done for today. These changes sound simple, but for an aging body they are life-giving, and often the only difference between decline and strength. But we're not done yet. The final evening mistake is the most invisible, and perhaps the most deeply damaging. It begins in your thoughts, and touches everything else. Is the most invisible and perhaps the most deeply damaging. It begins in your thoughts, and touches everything else. You may eat at the right time, you may dim your lights, avoid screens, and support your liver. But if your mind remains unsettled, none of that will matter. The body cannot heal while the mind is holding stress, and this is especially true after 60. Evenings are often silent for elders, and in that silence, the mind speaks the loudest. It speaks of what was lost, of mistakes made, of people who have moved on, of children who used to call but don't anymore, of loved ones who used to sleep beside you and now don't. The weight of those thoughts doesn't show on the skin, but it shows in your heartbeat, in your breathing patterns, in your sleep, and in the way you feel when you open your eyes the next morning. Chronic evening stress, even without active worry, increases cortisol. Cortisol suppresses your sleep hormone, melatonin. It also constricts blood vessels, making the heart work harder, and it reduces glymphatic activity, the process by which your brain clears waste overnight. When this waste builds up, you may feel confused in the morning. You may struggle with focus. You may forget simple things. You may become easily irritable and think, maybe this is just aging. But often it's not. It's just poor mental hygiene before bed. And if we improve that, your clarity, your sleep, and even your emotions can improve within days. Here's what to do. Choose a consistent mental ritual every evening, something that tells your body rest is coming. Not TV, not talking to the same people who upset you, not reading the news, not scrolling on a glowing phone. Something simple, quiet, and consistent. Try this. Take a pen and write down the 3 thoughts that are bothering you the most today. Don't solve them. Don't analyze them. Just put them down. Then close the notebook. This tells your brain, these are parked now. I can rest. Sit with your eyes closed. Inhale slowly for 4 seconds. Exhale slowly for 6. Do this 10 times. This lowers heart rate and signals the nervous system that danger is gone. If a memory or person is on your mind, write them a letter you never send. Let it be angry. Let it be sad. Let it be thankful. Whatever it is, empty it. Say this out loud once. There is nothing to fix now. I am allowed to rest tonight. It may feel strange at first, but your brain listens when your mouth speaks. These are not spiritual tricks. They are biological recalibrations. Because your body doesn't sleep unless it believes the world is safe. And the only one who can deliver that message is you. Let's now talk about how all of this affects different kinds of elders. After 60, the same routines don't work for everyone. Your body shape, your illness history, your medications, even your sleep cycle, all demand slightly different approaches. For example, if you are overweight and feel sluggish in the evening, avoid large dinners. Avoid mixing proteins and starches. Walk slowly for 15 minutes after dinner, even if it's inside the house. Take a warm shower, not too hot, to stimulate circulation. Use a smaller pillow under your neck. Larger ones can cause breath restriction in heavier bodies. If you are thin and feel weak at night, do not skip dinner. Include complex carbs like a boiled sweet potato or soft brown rice. Include soft proteins like lentils or paneer or fish. Avoid sleeping on an empty stomach. A warm glass of milk or almond milk may help. Ask your doctor first. Use an extra blanket to maintain core temperature. Thin bodies lose heat faster. If you are diabetic, your evening meal should be simple. Boiled vegetables, whole grains, lean protein. Avoid fruits or sugary drinks after 6:30 p.m. Take your prescribed medications exactly on time. Avoid herbal teas unless cleared by your physician. Keep your feet warm at night. Poor circulation can worsen nerve pain. If you have low blood pressure, do not go to bed hungry. Add a pinch of rock salt to warm water if permitted by your doctor. Avoid hot showers before bed. Sit down slowly when getting into bed. Sudden posture changes can cause dizziness. If you have sleep apnea or snoring, elevate the head of your bed slightly. Avoid all dairy and alcohol after 5 p.m. Use a humidifier if air is dry. Consider a sleep study if symptoms worsen. And again, always confirm any physical adjustment with your physician. No video, no internet advice, not even this script can replace the relationship you have with the doctor who has read your reports for years. Now what about emotions? Let's go deeper for a moment. The emotional load elders carry is different than any other stage of life. There's a kind of silence that enters after 65, one that few people warn you about. It happens when your job is done. Your children don't need you daily. Friends are far or gone. Your phone stops ringing. The world, which once needed you every minute, now forgets to check in. And in that space, between what used to be and what is, it's easy to feel invisible, unwanted, unuseful. But that feeling, that quiet ache in the chest, it has consequences. It weakens your immunity. It slows your wound healing. It creates a fog over your thoughts. It even increases your risk of sudden cardiac events. Loneliness is not just an emotion, it's a physical condition, and it must be treated like one. How? With 4 simple antidotes. Movement, a short walk, even inside your home, daily. Purpose, set one small goal before bed for the next day. Touch, massage your own hands, or hug someone if possible. Connection, even one 5-minute phone call per day with a loved one or peer, can extend lifespan by years. Don't wait for the world to come to you. Reach out, find ways to participate. Not because you are weak, but because you are still here, and every cell in your body, even now, is waiting for the signal that life is still happening. Before we pause, one last detail. Water, yes, something as basic as water taken at the wrong time, can harm your heart, liver and brain. 6 p.m. Slow down after 7 p.m. Sip small amounts after that, not big gulps. If you take nighttime medication, use just enough water to swallow, and avoid cold water at night. It shocks the digestive system and liver. Simple, quiet, invisible adjustments, but they can protect your entire system. This is not about fear. This is not about becoming someone else. It's about choosing to stay here longer and clearer by doing less harm when the world goes dark. There's one last piece left, and it is perhaps the most urgent, because it involves your future memory, your clarity, and your heart's rhythm. Your clarity and your heart's rhythm. Because while most people talk about food and stress and light, there's one final evening danger that almost no elder realizes, and it affects the brain, the heart, and the liver all at once. It's inactivity, not just the kind where you sit still, but the kind where your blood stops circulating, where your breath stays shallow, where your joints don't move and your organs become quiet in the worst way. This happens often between 7 p.m. and bedtime, especially in elder routines. Dinner is done. You sit, you watch something. You lie down and the body waits, and waits, and waits. And in that waiting, systems begin to slow, but not the way they're meant to. Your circulation drops, your oxygen uptake lowers, your digestion slows, causing reflux or bloating. And for some, the heart enters what's called non-vagal rest, a state where the parasympathetic system never properly activates. This is how elders wake up tired despite doing everything right. What's the solution? Movement, but not heavy, not complicated, not intense. Just enough to remind the body that blood must flow, lungs must expand, and joints must stay awake until true rest begins. Try these routines: 10-minute barefoot walk in the house, or on safe outdoor flooring. This activates foot reflex points, stimulates the spine, and warms the blood. Gentle seated stretches. Raise both arms above your head. Rotate the shoulders. Lift your knees one at a time. Twist gently side to side. Diaphragm breathing. Place one hand on your chest, one on your belly. Inhale so that only your belly rises. Exhale twice as long. Repeat 6-10 times. Even this little movement improves brain oxygenation by up to 20% during sleep. It supports heart rhythm. It supports liver detox. It keeps your metabolism moving just enough to prevent stagnation. Elders who do this report fewer nighttime palpitations, less bloating in the morning, reduced brain fog, lower resting blood pressure over time, improved emotional stability. It's not a big change, but it's one that makes a big difference. Now, if you're asking, should I do all these things? The answer is simple. No. You don't need to do all of them at once. But pick one. Let it become part of your evening, and once it feels natural, pick another. This is not a test. It's not a competition. There are no grades. There is only one goal: to wake up tomorrow with a little more peace than you had tonight, and to know that the years ahead of you can still be strong. You've made it this far, which means something in your heart still wants to keep going. That alone is worth honoring. That alone is worth protecting. We spent hours to craft this for you, and we truly hope it brought you some. If you felt something shift inside you, if even one sentence made you breathe softer, then I invite you to do something gentle for yourself tonight. Place one hand over your chest, take a deep breath, and tell your body, I'm still here. Support us so we can create even more meaningful videos for you. The link is in the comments and description. Your support helps us keep going, just like you're doing. And before you go, just a suggestion. Try humming your favorite old song for 30 seconds before bed. It sends more oxygen to your brain than most expensive machines, and brings a smile worth more than any medicine.